Hey, what's up, viewers? It is Real Fan Patrick Burns video, and this is episode 6 of Gluttony Week of Bardsey, and today's verse comes out of 1 Corinthians 6, verse 12, and it reads, I have the right to do anything you say, but not everything is beneficial. I have the right to do anything, but I will not be mastered by anything. And that's that verse means. So this morning, it's time for our Aurora Rangers recap, and one verse last night, I'm going to read you, comes from the book of Colossians, and in Colossians chapter 3, verse 2, and here is what the verse says. And it reads, set your minds on things above, non-earthly things. And that's that verse means. So that's the verse portion of Bible study last night. Now, in case you guys missed it, we are looking at practicing the presence in this study at church on Zoom. And here's some strange things. This is from last night. So so before we continue here, this book that this study is based off of is a book by Frank Loudback called Letters by a Modern Mystic. And if you guys haven't checked it out, you guys should check it out. So here's some strange things. First of all, Loudback says some old things. Here are a few points to remember. First of all, there were originally letters he wrote home, not theology lessons. So sometimes he speculates on things about which he is not very sure of. Second of all, some of the wilder ideas he speculates about do not stick, that is. He does not dwell on them throughout the book. And third of all, he is trying to find his way without anyone to guide him. That's one of the weird things. The next part, here's some examples. Telepathic evangelism. I definitely said that wrong. Telepathic evangelism. I apologize if I said that wrong. Basically, is sending thoughts about Christ to other people. Trying to focus any tiny act on God's will could be distorted into a legalistic sort of bondage as could trying to let God control one's hand motions. Now the question of what can we learn? What can we learn from this? Well, here's one of the things. One of the things was, or actually I think I might be all. Let's see. Oh, that's not the only one. So the next one is, so there's a lot more slides to it. And let me take a little drink break before I continue with this. So, we had some people read their journals and stuff. So, like I said, we had to create a journal, and anything that the Lord gave us, we'd write that down, and we could share it with all those that were there. And one of the interesting things, actually, let me read you that verse one last time. Colossians 3, verse 2, and it basically says, set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. And basically, that was hold on. Here's the ESV version of it. It reads, set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on the earth. Basically, earthly things. Here's something I'll read you. This is I think it's a journal entry from Frank Loudback. Here's what it says. As for me, I never lived. I was half dead. I was a rotten tree until I reached the place where I wholly, with utter honesty, resolved. And then resolved that I would find God's will, and I will do that. Though every fiber in me said no. And I would win the battle in my thoughts. Another one. One question now to be put to the test is this. Can we have that contact with God all the time? All the time, awake, fall asleep in His arms, and awaken in His presence. Can we attain that? Can we do His will all the time? Can we think His thoughts all the time? That's another one. Next one is, can I bring God back in my mind? Flow every few seconds so that God shall always be in my mind as an after image, shall always be one of the elements in every concept and percept. And here's another one. This week, for example, has not been one of the finest in my life, though it has been above the average. I have to make a greater effort next week. I have undertaken something which at my age at least is harder, and then I had to anticipate, but I resolve not to give up the effort. Yet strain does not seem to do good. At this moment, I feel something let go inside, and LO, God is here. It is a heart-melting here-ness, a lovely whispering of father to child, and the reason I did not have it before was because I failed to let go. That was another one. Another one, I believe there's more to it. Let me see here. I don't believe there's more. Or yes, there is. Here's another one. This concentration upon God is strenuous, but everything else has ceased to be so. I think more clearly. I forget less frequently things which I did with a strain before. I now do easily and with no effort whatever. I worry about nothing and lose no sleep. I walk on air a good part of the time. Even the mirror reveals a new light in my eyes and face. I no longer feel in a hurry about anything. Everything goes right each minute. I meet calmly as though it were not important. Nothing can go wrong except one thing. That is that God may slip from my mind if I do not keep on my guard. If he is here, the universe is with me. My task is simple and clear. There's one more thing I do want to share with you guys, and that is the end of it. Okay. Before I continue, I do have one more thing I just want to say before I end the video. But I do want to, of course, leave you with a verse for today. And the verse for today comes out of Psalm 139, verses 13 through 14, and it says, "For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well." So before I end the video for today, one of the people that were at last night's study, and this was really interesting. She said that, and she had things to do and stuff. She'd take her kids to practices and back and forth and stuff. And she didn't have much time to be with God. And the Lord actually gave her something. And the Lord said to her, he said, relax. Even though we go through busy, I know since Williamsburg shut down yesterday, I'm virtual till February 3rd, which actually doesn't take too long, which is not really long, unless there's more coronavirus cases. But we all go through a busy time. I mean, I used to like 8th, 9th grade. I was always busy. I had school, then I gotta stay after school for cheerleading practice, and then also there were also a few times where I had to go to school, stay there, have practice, and then also there were times where I had games and stuff. But just remember, if you're busy, don't think that God's with you. He is with you, and just word of advice from what I just told you a few moments ago: relax, because God's available, and God's never gonna care about you if you're busy. He cares about you, and that's gonna do it for the video. Well, thanks for watching. Till next time we meet again, viewers. In every way, God's way is always the best way.